Well, Coffee Time friends, how y'all doing? It's Wednesday night. It's snack night. I'm having a snack. Mama ain't having nothing, I don't guess. What are you having, Mama? Apple?
Wait till church.
Oh, well, we're eating a sandwich at church. That's the reason why. I'm going to show you this quick snack. This is so super simple. And it's one of those snacks. Wait, let me plug in the... Sorry. Hold one moment, please. Hold your ears. I'll hear better now. I didn't have the microphone plugged in. This is a snack I showed you all, 2 years ago. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, John, that is so good. I can't believe how good that was. Some of y'all said, I had that when I was a kid. My mama always fixed that. It's an old-timey snack. It's easy. Mama's worked today in apples. Mama, you want to show them your apples?
This is what I peeled and cooked.
She's cooked these. Look, these are fresh cooked, ready for apple pies, ready for pork chops and applesauce. But look here, this is the beauty of the apples. These are all beautiful, homegrown, straight off the tree. Now, these are not them apples that look so good and you think, oh wow, I want a big juicy apple. These are rusty coats. And look, they got spots. They got spots, but that's good. They were little red ones. These are the apples of my childhood. We had a tree that had these apples on them. See how they look rusty? These make the best apple pies. Mama's working on it. I will help her, I promise. I like to peel apples and stuff. It's kind of therapeutic for me. Sometimes Mama don't like the way I peel them, but I'm pretty good apple peeler though in a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, this little snack I'm gonna fix. I've not had it this year, and I'm wanting it, and I was wanting it the other day, and I thought tonight's a good night for a little snack. And here it is. So you just take you a tomato slice or two. Whole tomato, take a bushel, I don't care. You do you. You chop it up, dice it up, however big you want it. You don't want to like put it through a blender or anything. But that's all I done. There was 2 slices left on this, I guess from Mama's lunch. And I just quartered it up here. Really, her tomato sitting there was one of the things that I thought, that's a good night for that. These are just saltine crackers, and yes, I went and picked up some the other day when we ran out, because I knew we was going to need some. And this is very easy done, but it tastes so good. It reminds me of really it reminds me of a homegrown tomato sandwich. I've got 7 saltines. And let me tilt y'all. Y'all can see Mama working in the background. And I'm just going to crumble these up with my hands right in here. Give them a crumble that way, crumble that way, crumble that way. And that's all I've done. Just crumbled them up. Now to my crackers, I want to dump my tomatoes in here. Mama's so popular. Toll-free number, probably. I'm going to just put these tomatoes right in here, just like this. Wireless caller. Put this in here, tomatoes, right in here with the crackers. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of salt. Just a dash of salt. Just like that. This is just pink Himalayan sea salt. Now this is not mayo. I put mayo on the description because that's what most people use. I like JFG salad dressing anytime I'm doing anything with tomatoes. But this would be where you put your mayo. I'm just going to put 1 tablespoon of tomato in there, of salad dressing in there, or mayo. And now that's all you do, folks, and just stir it. Stir it up. You may not like the way it looks, I don't know. But it's good. It's crackers, tomato, and salad dressing. Now you think, I can imagine what that would taste like. I bet you can't, because it don't taste like you think it would. All those flavors together gives it a whole unique profile. And it tastes very, very similar to a sandwich, like a white bread, tomato, and salad dressing sandwich. Maybe that's how this was invented to start with. Now, you don't have to, I know we eat with our eyes and you're thinking, John, that don't look good. Well, everything don't have to look good. I don't guess, a big old pile of green collard greens look good either, but they sure are good, ain't they? That's it. And then you just sample it. Just sample it. I'm going to pray over it because that's just going to be my supper, I guess. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this meal. We thank you for providing it for us and nourishing our bodies with it, dear Lord. We just ask you to be with us as we go to our churches and out on the highways and the byways. Just pray for a hedge of protection on everyone, dear Lord, and be with each and every prayer request. In your name we pray. Amen. All right, so there it is, folks. Tomato cracker and mayo snack. And I still call it mayo, even though I use salad dressing. If you have just salad dressing, I would say use the salad dressing. Just saying. I'm going to try it.
It tastes like you remember it from last year.
It tastes so good every time, Mama.
Oh,
Folks, it tastes so good. It tastes just like a tomato sandwich. It really does. I love this little snack. There's a lot of times before we start doing coffee time in the summertime that I would come home and this would be supper because it's quick and easy. In the winter, a lot of times you come home from work and you don't want to cook. You don't want to do anything. And you say, we're having cereal tonight. Or I'm having an egg sandwich. Or I'm having popcorn for supper. Don't act like yins aren't out there. You know you are. You know yins are out there. This was one of my go-tos. This I might have 2 or 3 times a month. And there was a show Mama used to like called The Middle. And there was a little character on there named Brick.
Brick, I think is his name.
And his mom, she was a good mom, but she would sometimes have trouble hitting all the high notes. And so she had evidently forgot to cook supper for him or something. And he goes, oh, that's okay. I had a bowl of mayonnaise and went to bed. So sometimes I would say to Mama, oh, I'll just have a bowl of mayonnaise and go to bed. So this is as close as I would get to it. But this was always so good.
That was your saying.
And they just sort of act like it was normal. But this is a good way to eat a tomato. You get a little cracker. Now, I had done a cracker, put a little piece of tomato, and put a little salad dressing on it before. But try mixing it up. Mixing it up changes the flavor profile. Mama, I know you're going to eat in about 10 minutes. But do you want me to make you a little snack?
No, thank you.
Well, Mama, tell them about your project here.
Oh, this is some apples our friend Brother Wilson gave us, and I've peeled a long time today, and they're just little, but they sure are good.
And my.
Those cooked ones are real good, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And
tell them what's in your cooked ones.
Sugar and cinnamons I was in them.
White granulated?
Yeah. I didn't put brown sugar in them.
So, let's say if they get some apples, let's say in a quart saucepan, how much sugar and how much cinnamon?
Oh, I don't know. I put a cup, tasted of it, and then I sprinkle a little more and a little more cinnamon till I thought it tasted like you would like it, and you did.
And I did. And I said to you what? These are the best apples in the whole wide world.
Just leave them like it is. It's good. It's what you told me.
So, these are the best apples in the whole wide world, Mama. Mm-hmm. And they are, because you know why? They're the ones we got. They're the ones we got.
And they just gave to us. And
we have wonderful friends. We have friends. Mama gives stuff to people too, but we get stuff given to us like this. But I think that's just the way of life here. If you have plenty, you share.
yeah, you should.
If you have more apples than you want to work up, share them. These apples are so good just to eat like this. They're striped, but look at that rusty apple. Look at him. He's green rusty. He's not a beautiful apple. Now here's a store-bought that has been grown to be a beautiful apple. But look at that old thing. Just off the tree. Look at those holes where bugs, no pesticides have been sprayed on them. But I would take a bag of these over a bushel of the others, because these are so good. Does anybody know what these are called? I'm talking about the real calling of them, because we call them rusty coats, and I guess you can tell why. Don't they look like they had rain on them? They've rusted just a tinge. But they also, this apple comes off that same tree. Doesn't it, Mama?
Yeah, this is off of one tree. That's what he said.
This apple, and this apple, and this apple all came from the same tree.
That's like them peppers I showed you the other day. I gathered
See, this one's got some red stripes on
a
it.
long one and a bale off of the same plant. You remember me showing you
Yeah.
that?
So what do y'all think about that? Hey, what do you think about them apples? Oh, that's an old saying here too. If somebody says something, that's an old saying. What do you think about them apples? Meaning, well, now what do you think? Maybe they bragged about something, or maybe they said they could run faster than in the group, and then maybe the littlest one ran with them and beat them. And they said, well, he beat you. What do you think about them apples? That's just a way of saying, you got any more bragging to do? Did you used to tell your brothers that?
No, they probably beat me.
What do you think about them apples? So what are you going to do with them apples?
Well, I'm going to
Freeze them?
fried pies out of them, I think. I'm not for sure.
Fried pies.
Well, my boys are working.
Now that's another thing. That's a southern thing, straight down the line. So the guys who help out and they're working on the porch. He's one of those. He's been our friend for years, though. They're more than just. I mean, they don't just work for us. They're friends. They come when we need them, whether they're doing a project or not. But he brought these apples. Mama's going to work them up and make them into pies. So then she'll give him some pies. That's just a southern thing you do. Somebody gives you blackberries. Mama makes jelly. She makes sure they get a pound of jelly. That's just the way you do. Mama, what else you gonna do? What else you got, Mama?
I'm going to go to church in a little bit.
Applewood pork. Oh, that would be good with potatoes. Applewood pork would be good. Apples and pork chops go really good together. We're fixing to get thunderstorms here in Florida. Oh, Leanne. You know, I've seen some of the devastating pictures in Hawaii.
Oh, that's pitiful.
I have never seen anything quite. I heard a thing, and it showed cars in the street, and it was right near the ocean. And I'm not sure if that was the street. You know, you can't tell. And they may have told the name, but I think I may have been where that was. But anyway, the fires come so fast and just so out of control, they had to jump out of their cars and run into the ocean. Folks, you never know how sad that would be. You know, not just. I hope all those in that picture. I hope every car represents somebody who was alive, but there's been so many killed. So many killed. Let's say many prayers for Hawaii.
One time I heard there's 89, then there's 90 something. I don't know what the last count was. That's
Yeah.
bad.
Goodness, I reckon he is. He's bad there. He's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
But that's a lot of this.
It's pitiful. It breaks your heart.
And there was still so many missing, which is very sad.
it breaks your heart. It really does. Let's do remember those folks for sure. It just seems like so many folks end up, in these natural tragedies anymore. I don't know anybody that lives in Hawaii. Do you, Mama?
No, I don't.
I know we have friends in California, and when they have fires and flooding and stuff, I'm always worried, and Mama gets tore up until she hears from everybody she knows.
I tell you, you can't get away from fires. When that wind's a blowing, it's coming no matter. We had
a bad fire here one time when I was a child. It burnt the hayfields. And hayfields, you want to see fire. You wait till you see a hayfield, dried up hayfield. This wasn't a green hayfield either. Going up in flames. It shoots flames.
I thought it was going to catch our house on fire.
It really could have.
The rescue squad came and wiped down everything. I hooked the hose up.
Saved the dogs.
Yeah, let the dogs out.
Their house is caught on fire. It was that close in our backyard. Their house is caught on fire.
I had enough sense to run and let them loose so they wouldn't be trapped in it.
Let all the animals out of the barn. You just have to do what you have to do in an emergency situation like that. But it's just tragic. You can't do anything with a fire. Fires and water, they will show you quickly who's in charge.
Caught the chicken house on fire.
Caught our chicken house on fire. We used to have a chicken house. I played in that chicken house when I was a kid, like it was the park. If you, that's just how you did when I was a kid. You played. This was iffy. This is iffy. Oh, look at that. Now see how bad that looks. Look how good this looks. Total opposite of that other one.
But you just gotta do the best you can with whatever situation you're dealt out.
That's the reason we have to realize, no matter what you have, it's temporary. Your existence is temporary. We're not permanent residents. And just be thankful for what you have, guard it, watch it, but just know it ain't going to last.
That's why you don't put your faith in material things.
Exactly.
It'll be gone in a second.
That's exactly right, Mama. Y'all ever just sit around, peel apples and cut up apples? And this is what we could do on the back porch if it was finished. This is what folks used to do. Sit around, break up beans, prepare apples, shuck corn, do all that good stuff on the back porch.
Yeah. Or front porch, whatever.
Or front porch, or really out and under a big tree was a good place to get, because if you can get out and under a big shade tree, you got air flowing all the way around. That's where we used to play when I was a kid, the big front yard shade tree, but he's gone. It was temporary. As a child, I thought that tree would always, always be there. You couldn't have convinced me that big shade tree wasn't a permanent part of my life. I loved that old tree.
But it got dangerous.
It did. It got dangerous, and we had to... Well, my daddy tried, and I got so mad at him. He had a guy come and really trim that big tree. He
really trying to save it, and he couldn't.
He trimmed it way back, trying to get fresh growth on it and everything. And it did. It did come back from that trimming. And I thought, he's cutting down my tree. It didn't have any shade when he got through with it. And I thought, he's cutting down that tree. Why did you do that, Daddy? He said, I'm trying to fix that tree. I thought, he's trying to kill that tree. But it was a box elder. And when I got grown, it did come back from Daddy's trimming, and I guess really it saved it. Because it bushed back out. Then when I got grown, it really took another turn.
I think the bugs or worms or something.
And I had a tree doctor come and look at it. And he said, these trees are just not hardy trees. He said, this is an old tree. And My papa had planted that tree, and his brother, my Uncle Wiley, shot the top out of it when it was about 6 foot tall. Made my daddy mad. He said he remembered him then. He said, "Why did you shoot that tree, Wiley?" Shot it in half. It was like 3 foot then. And said, Wiley told him, said, "I'm making that tree pretty." Well, I got to tell you, Wiley did a good job, because right where he shot that tree, it forked out into 3 perfect branches. And they were big, and they came straight up and beautiful. It did spread that tree out and make it beautiful. And I guess that's the reason it was so fond of it. And so then history repeated itself. I thought Dad was killing it, and he was saving it. So when the tree doctor came, he gave some stuff to sprinkle, and he said, it may keep it from rotting down now, but it's not a hardy tree. So as time went on, I guess it's been about 8 years ago, we had to cut it down, and then we left a big stump there for a while. We had a flower pot on it. Then a couple of years ago, we had the stump ground down. So he's completely gone.
Yeah.
But
if it had failed, guess where it would have failed?
in my bedroom,
No, in my bedroom.
your bedroom now, my bedroom when I was
It wasn't.
back then.
Back way back, your bedroom then.
No, but back in the day when Daddy trimmed all the limbs off from it, was my bedroom. That was one reason I hated for him to trim it, because it hung over my bedroom window, and it was shady, and I could, I just liked it. I could look out my window and see it at night, and it was, I guess if I'd have thought about it, a snake could have crawled in off that limb on my window. Might not have liked it so good. Look at that little piece. That'll eat. But you get attached to trees and stuff. What's wrong with us getting attached to a tree? But you have memories under that tree. That's why we played in that old refrigerator box for a whole summer out there under that tree.
Played in your wagon, going under that tree.
Broke my arm under that tree. Had an old steering wheel off an old car. We stuck it on an old rebar fence post, and we drove all over the world. We drove places you couldn't drive. We drove to Hawaii. We drove to Alaska. You name it. You can drive to Alaska. I didn't know that. But we drove all over the world with that little steering wheel under that shade tree. Because we thought we was something. We could, if we had a steering wheel, you could drive anywhere you wanted to drive. I guess I was 8 or 9 years old.
You was just in kindergarten 5 when you broke your arm.
I know. In a wagon.
Yeah.
Playing in a wagon. All right, folks. We probably bored you to death today,
Yeah.
sitting here peeling apples and talking about trees. Now, that's some content, isn't it? But that's what's going on here at Davis household.
That's what I'm saying. These apples will be the snowball this winter.
They'll be the snowball this winter. We love apples. We love apples for breakfast. Some of these apples will see gravy and biscuits. Some of these apples will see pork chops and pork and beans and biscuits. Some of these apples won't even see what's coming, because they'll be all tucked up in a good old pie, and they'll see a cup of coffee. But either way, they're all going to eat so good. Now, I do this all the time. Sometimes Mama comes in the morning to a big old pile of apples that I've cut up, because we buy them and put them in the fruit bowl. And I think we're trying to feed the gnats, because we don't eat them.
We eat
before.
some.
We eat a few, but we don't eat them till they're gone. And I think them apples are looking shrivelly. And when they get to looking a little less than perky, I go ahead and I get me a knife and I peel them up, and I wash them, bag them up, and Mama can cook them up. Or normally when we do apples, even if we're freezing some have to be made. It's kind of like green beans. Even if we're going to can them, you got to cut the fresh mess, don't you, Mama?
Oh, yeah. what's the use of planting them and doing them if you don't eat a fresh mess of them?
And what's a mess? A mess is whatever it takes to feed your family at one time. So, if you fix a mess of green beans, it's whatever you're having for supper. It's that amount. So if you got a big family, a mess might be 3 quarts. If you got a small family, a mess might be a pint. If you know an elderly couple that don't get the raised green beans anymore, you might take them enough for a quart so that they could have some for leftovers, but that'd be a mess of beans for them. If you got a family that lives next to you that's got 10 kids, you better take enough for about 3 quarts so they can all get a little bit. And that would be a mess too, wouldn't it, Mama?
Yeah.
Mess of green beans.
I've always said that.
My granny used to say, I'm going to go out and pick us a mess of lettuce. And we knew what that meant. She's going to go out and get enough for supper that night. Now, if she had said, I'm going to go out and pick green beans and can, then you're picking the whole patch. But if you're picking a mess, you're just going to pick enough to wash, break up, and start cooking for the day. Ain't it the truth?
Oh, yeah. I'll put more water because this is...
Now, these are going to be put, you can put them in a little orange juice. The acid, you can put them in a little lemon juice, or you can just put them in salty water, and it keeps them from getting too brown. I put a post out today. I don't know if everybody's seen it or not. We appreciate your all support so much, and we appreciate y'all buying cookbooks, but we're sold out. We have no more. I think we have enough to fill the orders. If you've already sent your check or money order,
I've sent all of them that I've got, but I ain't been to the post office.
when we get to the post
in a couple
office,
of days.
we'll have enough to fill those. But don't send any more until you hear us say, because we are out. Out, aren't we, Mama?
Yeah, getting to the end of the thing.
We might have 10 left. So, and that's already spoken for. Because I know people's going to say, can I have one of those 10? There ain't 10 left. There's just 10 spoken for to fill orders. Because about that. So. And you have to buy them in such bulk. We're not going to buy them. You can't just call up and say, give me 100 books. You have to buy what we usually buy.
It's 340
300
or something like that.
So, a printing. You have to have a printing. We may be out of printing time anyway.
I think we are now. Unless we ain't ordered now.
Mama, you got anything you want to add tonight?
No, we've done good.
All right, folks, we're going to say goodbye. And we're going to say, get you a snack. Fix you some supper. But this little snack I had, that'll do me. Crackers and a little bit of mayonnaise or salad dressing and a little bit of tomato. And you're eating, and it's delicious. Some of y'all out there with your nose turned up a little bit, you're going to try it because you're curious. And you're going to say, well, John was right. That was right good.
Now, when I was little and tomatoes and apples was in it, the house, I would cut up apples in little chunks and tomatoes in little chunks and put saltine crackers in it.
Apples, well, that'd be good too, Mama.
And
We could have easily done it tonight.
that's what I would eat.
Apples and saltine crackers. That's what you call the apple pandaddy.
Yeah.
Now, we know that ain't right.
No.
Somebody said the other day, apple pandaddy is this. We know. Mama was a kid. She called it what she wanted to.
We made it and ate it in our playhouse.
Yeah. Better than eating mud pies.
Mm-hmm. We did feed our youngest brother some mud pies.
We used to make mud pies with red worms in it and dare each other to eat them.
I didn't do that.
We was chicken. I don't think nobody ever really ate them. But that was just something that every once in a while somebody would come up with I dare you to take one bite of this mud pie. Well, if they dared you to eat it, you knew it had a worm in it. Because we were just mean like that.
We would make mud pies. No wonder Sonny whipped me all the time when he got it. I had him eating mud pies.
Would you make them in a pie pan?
Oh, make them in little broke glass dishes that we'd have. We didn't have little fancy dishes.
We had, when I was a kid, we had aluminum pie pans we made them in.
Well, I didn't have them in the house.
Well, Mama would give us pie pans to get us out of the house if we asked for them.
I just had jar lids or whatever we could find. And I can remember it was right beside the house, and it was just dirt because we had it wore slick, and that's where we'd build our playhouse up. And Daddy said, "What are you sweeping?" I said, "My playhouse." And "What are you sweeping out?" I said, "Dirt." And he said, "What's under that?" I said, "More dirt."
Dirt and more dirt.
So we never would get it
Come on.
swept.
Come on.
Yeah, well, we just sweep and sweep. Crazy things back then. Kids played with whatever they could find and whatever they could do. We didn't have toys or nothing like that, so.
You didn't have toys. Come on.
No.
Surely you had a toy.
We didn't
Did you
have.
have a rag doll?
I had diphtheria when I was 2 years old, and they thought I was dying and stuff. And my grandma bought me a doll. And that's the only doll I can remember
Did
having.
you keep it forever?
Yeah, it had a glass head. It caught broke. I don't remember how.
See, they get kids dolls with glass heads?
Yeah, that's the way it's made. Cloth body and a glass head. And I didn't have another doll until my oldest sister got married. And she bought me and Ruth little dolls almost just alike.
They have glass heads?
They were rubber dolls. They were.
Those must have been some of the dolls that was over there when we grew up, because there was some old ugly dolls in that basement. That was almost scary. Their hair was all
Matted up and everything.
yeah. I just remember seeing them and thinking,
I think they bought my oldest sister a doll when she was little, and my two oldest brothers, its eyes would move, they said. And they had to take it apart to see why its eyes moved.
Now I do remember when I
So
was a kid,
we didn't get no more dolls there. We didn't have that money.
a big red-headed doll that walked.
That was Aretha's.
It's scary too.
That was an uncle bought that for her.
It was scary. How'd they make it to our childhood? I guess your childhood and her childhood wasn't that far from ours.
20-something.
20 years, maybe.
20-something years.
All right, we're about through with our chore here.
Yeah.
Look at that. I want to show you the finished product. Look at them. Look at them apples. Those are going to be so good. As Mama says, better than a snowball this winter. We'll be able to do more than we can a snowball.
Mm-hmm. They'd be great.
Maggie's laying out there watching for crows.
Oh, Lord, she's been out 99 times today. I don't know what's been wrong with her.
She is in one of her restless phases.
Usually she sleeps all day long. That ain't no nothing but just little apples.
What?
Your camera. Put it on here.
Okay, look at this pile. I just sat right here and messed up this whole pile. So what do y'all think? Are you guys ready to peel some apples? Do you remember peeling apples when you was a kid? You glad you ain't got apples to fool with? You get all kinds of people say, I wish I had some apples, and you get say, I'm glad I don't have to fool with that no more. They got good canned apples, and that is a blessing.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to take a quick peek and see what y'all are saying.
I don't like canned apple. Well, some canned apples, but then A lot
Hello,
of times
John and
they
Momma.
got
Hey,
that
Martha.
artificial stuff.
Yeah, they don't taste as the same. I mean, they're good, but they don't taste the same. I just love y'all. Well, hey, Kathy, we just love y'all too. I have peeled a lot of apples, Nancy said. Nancy, we have too. But you know, I love it. I still enjoy peeling apples. I don't mind it at all. Let's see. What is the thing I hate to fool with? I don't like fooling with corn. That's not enjoyable to me. Corn is a sticky, nasty. You'll have corn in your eyes and your hair. I mean, corn just goes everywhere. I never did like fooling with corn. And we fool with a lot of corn. I guess corn's my least favorite thing to get out of the garden and fool with. I love it though. Love to eat it. I just don't like shucking it. I never did like silking it. Mama never did let me have a corn job, really, did you?
No.
Shucking every once in a while. But silking, you had to take a brush and silk it good. And cutting it off was too dangerous.
Oh, you couldn't cut it out.
But I have as an adult. Oh, hate it. I can't remember. And I hated gathering it because it had pack saddles in it. And I don't even know what pack saddles really are, if that's really the real name, but they're ugly little worms and they'll sting you and they'll make you wish you hadn't got up out of the bed
They
that
got
morning.
99 stingers on them that make a big place on you.
They'll make you wish you hadn't got up out of the bed, and they're green and they look like the corn husk. And you put them up in your arms with a dozen ears of corn and they got you before you get them. And there you are. 2 more little apples left. Maybe 1.5. This one doesn't look like it's going to produce much. I don't know about this one, Mama. I think he's a lost cause. He's soft all the way down.
Well, we don't want to make you soft all the way down.
But I was wrong. There's a little bit of good right there. And we'll peel that little bite that
The
needed.
good side of this one's got worm spots on it, and the other side that look bad don't. That's strange.
Y'all say, hey, Mama's jokes. Let me tell you this little riddle. What's worse than biting in an apple and finding a worm?
Biting in the apple and finding the hole where the worm's been.
Nope.
Finding half of a worm.
Half a worm. I'd rather bite into 100 apples and find a hole where they've been and just let my imagination think it's good than to bite in and find a half of one. Ugh.
Oh, Lord.
Some wormholes aren't wormholes. Some wormholes are a little bug bite or something that happened to the bloom. But then a wormhole will go all the way in. You'll see them. Actually, I got 2.
Like this right here.
Yeah. I got 2, 3 good pieces out of that little shiver of an apple that look pretty rotted. But it's not all bad. Okay, Mama, I think my pile's bigger than yours.
I've been emptying mine over there.
Oh, okay, I see.
In the bucket.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't want my pile to get so big.
You didn't want to make me look bad in front of our friends.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Mama. All right, folks, we're going to head out. We're going to say y'all have a blessed night, Mama. You got anything you want to add?
No, I'm going to hurry up and put these in something and put them in the freezer
Gonna put them in the freezer.
and have them. And I've got that bowl of cooked ones already.
Look at this. Now this is the beginning of a beautiful thing because this is the beginning of hand pies, fold over pies, just pies that you can put in your hand and eat. Empanadas, is that what some of the fancy people call them? These are delicious. These and this little mixture right here of sugar and a little bit of cinnamon. It's awesome. We love fried pies.
This is sour apples, and that's why they're cooked up like that.
Yeah. You want a sour apple for a pie.
Now, Golden Delicious is a good fried apple.
Yeah, it is. Mama loves Golden Delicious though. Here's all those apples, and that bowl's full. It's got a little water in it, but it's also full of apples. And see, they don't turn brown because Mama keeps smashing them down in that salt water. So as you're peeling them, you'll be peeling your apples, and you just reach over and take your knife and just knock them down in there. Make sure everybody's in the pool, and they're all getting a little salt water on them, and that keeps them good and fresh looking.
These apple peels fell on my floor. It was a death trap, I said.
Yeah, but now Mama used to take them apple peels, and she would boil them, and she'd make jelly.
I cut all the spots off from them. I usually done that with bigger apples. And
These take me back to my childhood. They're tart. They're delicious. Mama, you anything you want to add?
No, I think we're through.
We through now, folks. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for being here. We appreciate you. Hey, Josh. That's Josh Hackler.
Well, hello, Josh.
Mom?
I bet he started back to school already.
He's a teacher now.
Mm-hmm. Howdy, howdy.
Anything you want to add?
No, I think we've talked our legs
We'll
out.
tell the folks goodbye.
Goodbye and good night, Mama. God bless you all. Have a wonderful night.